Oh, hi. Welcome back to Gattsy on Goosebumps, the show in which I review every single Goosebumps book from R.L. Stine's original series. And joining me as always is my co-host with most ghosts, Matt Harrison. How are you, Matt?
Good, thanks. Yeah, good, thanks.
Now, Matt, you've spent most of the summer working on your band's latest album.
Yeah.
What's going to be different about the Facades? Is this your third feature-length album, or just your second?
The second.
Yeah. What's the different approach you've taken for recording this one?
It's from my home studio that we've done it, and yeah, it's all just been like I've played all the instruments except the drums on it, so it's a lot more of just coming straight from me rather than a band thing. But I mean, Lockie's still played drums on a bunch of the tracks, and it's got aspects of other people as well, and a lot of the songs are still co-written by other people as well, so it's a bit of a mix
of collaboration and you leading the way.
The overall sound is quite a me sound, I think.
Music isn't the only thing Matt loves. He also loves spooky tales of shrunken heads. Is that correct?
That's my favourite pastime.
And so what are we discussing today, Matt Harrison? Can you introduce us to the book?
Here it is. This is R.L. Stine's Goosebumps. How I Got My Shrunken Head. Well, on the front cover here, we've got what seems to be a bedside table of some sort.
Perhaps a typical American bedside table, if you will.
Typical growing up, and you're leaving your thing. He doesn't put his socks away properly in his drawer.
Boys.
Yeah, I mean, they've got it pretty accurate, some would say. And apart from the fact that there's this big monstrous thing sitting on there, and it's the shrunken head.
Oh, so quite typical, except for that.
Yeah, that's the catch.
When the tagline there is "Heads up." Shrunken head. And can you read the blurb there?
Subtle pun.
Yeah, I know. I didn't really get it for a while, but then I remembered head is the same as shrunken head.
Yeah.
Can you read the blurb there?
It says... Wait, where's the blurb? On the back, yeah. Okay. Obviously. It says, 2 heads are better than 1.
True.
What has 2 eyes, a mouth, and a wrinkly green skin marks shrunken head. And it's a present from Aunt Benna. A gift from the jungle island of Balladora. Mark can't wait to show the kids at school his shrunken head. It's so ugly, it's so gross, so awesome. But late one night the head starts to glow because it's no ordinary head. Gives Mark a strange power, magical power, dangerous power.
Oh, it was all right until
they set it up. Yeah, they set it up.
Yeah. Talk us through the plot there, Harrison. What's going on in this story here?
Well, yeah,
the story
the plot's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the... I mean, it's very quick. It just jumps along from one thing to the next.
Doesn't seem to drag, does it?
Doesn't drag you down in any of the boring stuff. And he starts in his house playing his favourite video game, Jungle King.
Jungle King. He loves the jungle, this kid, for some reason.
He just loves the jungle. And he's never been to the jungle.
No.
He doesn't really know that much about the jungle.
He seems to have a connection with the jungle.
But he feels this connection with the jungle, and he loves his video game Jungle King, to the point that he's fine with just ignoring all his friends, so he can play this game.
His friends want to go outside and enjoy the sun.
They want to have a good time, or at least play a different game that they can all. No. We've all been there. There's multiplayer games out there, but this jungle thing, it's a solo game, and he's just being a bit of a dick.
But he gets a visitor, a knock on the door, is that correct?
Yeah, he's the knock on the door from this person, what was her name?
Carolyn?
Yeah. And she has in her hands this shrunken head.
Shrunken head?
And it's allegedly a present from his auntie, who's a scientist living on the jungle island of Balladora.
And it's a present for Mark, and he says, "I know, I'm friends with your auntie. This is for you."
He's a little freaked out, but then he's like, "This is amazing." He just gets real into it, more than a kid probably should. at a
actual
dismembered
severed
human
head. They don't really stress that, but it definitely is a severed human head that he's
It's a
playing with.
human head,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the next morning, he gets some quite exciting news. And what's that?
Well, he gets told that he's going on an expedition, and he's going to meet his auntie in the jungle on this island, and they're going to have a grand time, and going to get to see the island and go adventuring. And before he had left, he had the shrunken head on his
Oh, dude,
his
yes,
table or something.
yes.
And what's weirded him out is in the middle of the night, the shrunken head has started to glow, and it levitate. I think it did.
Of course, his mum doesn't believe him.
No one really believes. Oh, well, Carolyn
Carolyn thinks it's quite interesting. Doesn't
intriguing.
elaborate.
Anyway, so he ends up on this jungle island, and he immediately discovers that things aren't quite as they seem in this situation.
No, Aunt Benna's actually been missing.
She's gone.
She was trying to research, I think, some kind of snail, I think, and she's been missing for a few weeks. And so Dr. Hawlins and Carolyn think, you know, Mark, you can help us find Aunt Benna. But how's he going to help find it? How can you do that, Matt?
Well, he doesn't know it until they tell him that he's got some kind of a jungle magic. He's
got jungle magic. That's the
He's
phrase.
a supernatural being.
Yeah. They insist that, no, Mark, you've got this jungle magic in you. And you can use it. And Mark's like, I've literally got no idea what you're talking about. You've got the wrong person. It's not going to work. So he's not really sure what he's going to do. But late at night, he
reads his auntie's journal.
He reads his auntie's journal, which in hindsight probably should have been hidden a bit better because it reveals some terrible secrets.
Yeah, and in the journal, it's saying that Dr. Hawlings is out to kill Aunt Benna, and he's evil. He wants the jungle magic for himself, and he can't be trusted. And so our protagonist sets off into the jungle.
He does
himself to try.
Although Dr. Hawlings' daughter Karine does know that he's gone. And he's like, your dad's evil. And she's like, no, they just had a disagreement about the jungle. You know, my dad wants minerals in the jungle. Your auntie doesn't want it to be torn down. This is a disagreement. He's not actually an evil person. But anyway, he sets off into the jungle, armed only with his shrunken head. And he goes to sleep in the jungle because apparently that's a responsible thing to do. And he wakes up and he's covered in these...
No, he leaves at night or evening, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which was a rookie mistake. I mean, where's he gonna sleep?
He
doesn't think it through.
No, he doesn't.
He's scared. He sets off, and he falls asleep in this hollow tree. And this is where his misadventures
really kick off.
Yeah, because he wakes up the next morning. He's got bloody ants all over him.
He's covered in bloody ants.
He's got bloody ants all over him.
Every time I fall asleep in a tree, I wake up covered in ants.
And,
Pretty typical. And he's freaking out about these ants on him, isn't he, Matt?
Well, yeah, he thinks he's done for because they're biting him, and he's
He says he's suffocating in them.
Yeah, they're getting in his mouth.
Yeah, apparently they're.
He's
in
really
his
freaking out.
respiratory
These are some serious ants. Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he calls out his magic jungle cry that he thinks he just made up one day.
Yeah, this is a thing it's just his catchphrase.
Yeah, he yells it out when he's playing the Jungle King game.
Yeah, and it's like a Bazinga.
Yes.
Sheldon's Bazinga.
Yes.
Or a
what's another one?
I'm trying to think of the one. Rick and Morty. What did Rick say?
Bubba Lubba Dub Dub.
Bubba Lubba Dub Dub. Right.
Yeah.
This is his version. Kalia, and he thought this was just a
something that just came to his head one day when he was a kid.
It was his original thing, but it turns out that this might be a bit more meaningful,
a bit more magical than he thought.
Possibly, because as soon as he shouts this phrase, the ants will immediately drop off him and disappear. And he's thinking, that seemed a bit too miraculous to be
a coincidence. So his jungle misadventures continue, and I believe at one stage he's in quicksand.
Yeah, directly after the ant incident, he
Can't catch a break.
he basically takes another step, gets in the quicksand, and he's sucked into the quicksand, and then
He tries to yell at Kalia, but it's not working, and that's because he realizes when he fell in the quicksand,
that's right.
the shrunken head fell out of his pocket. So he gets the shrunken head, he yells at Kalia,
And he finds out that the magic only works when he's touching or in contact with the shrunken head. And then the vines come, rip him out of the quicksand, safe again. And then he immediately gets...
it falls down a pit.
Well, no, he immediately gets confronted by a tiger.
Yes, yeah.
You'd think...
It's been a bad 10 minutes for him, let's put it that way.
And this tiger attacks him, but he yells this word again.
Yep.
And the ground crumbles
Mm-hmm.
and puts him into this safe pit.
Yep.
Away from
The tiger.
the danger of the tiger. And then, what happens after that?
He's stuck in the pit, but I believe Corrine, who's actually been following him, she was worried about him
Goes to
going
him.
out in the jungle alone, apparently. Pulls him out of the pit. And then he's like, yeah, it turns out I do have jungle magic. And then he uses the shrunken head, he like sort of points in a direction, and it sort of leads him towards where Aunt Benner is.
Yeah, the eyes glow or something
When he's like going in the right direction.
towards where, the north or something. Where, anyway, the east, the correct direction to be going in.
Yeah.
And what did you
I
do?
don't know, I think one of the tea bags burst or something, so there's just like dirt at the bottom of my glass.
Oh,
Oh, I feel like
Wow.
Mark being covered in ants.
stand in your mouth.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Suffocating.
suffocating. I need to use my jungle word. So eventually they find Aunt Benner,
Yes.
and she's
Like,
like,
she's in a little shack.
Mhm.
She's been holding up there for months. And she's like, my journal. Yeah, man, that was it.
and he's like, why'd you bring this girl? This is Dr. Horling's daughter. And he's like, no, she's cool, Aunt Benner. She's not.
No, she's not there yet. They're having this conversation, I think, and it's like, well, Aunt Benner, is this true? And she goes, yeah, it's all true. Hollings is like out to kill me and everything.
Oh, that's right.
And so I'm hiding here in the woods. And just as they're about to kind of figure out what to do next, Corrine, she comes running up, and she's led them all.
She's like, oh, I found them. Hey, Dad,
She
I found them.
stitched them all out.
So she was a double agent the whole time. She was following Mark just to like lead the rest of them to him. Oh.
I hate that.
It happens all the time with me. With the women I'm involved with.
They just ghost you and they rat you out.
Then I have my jungle magic. Which is what I call my penis.
Jungle magic.
So our heroes, Mark and Aunt Benner, are in a bit of trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, a right spot of trouble. And they, they get captured and basically...
They're like, give us your jungle magic.
Yeah, and then
They tell us the
Corrine
secret.
almost tells it because she witnessed
Him using
the jungle magic. So she almost, but he goes, no, you can't tell them, and then they get knocked out or something and sent back to
the main headquarters.
Yeah. And Hollings basically goes, well, we're gonna shrink your heads. We're gonna cut off your heads and boil them.
Yep.
And shrink them. And that's what we're gonna do if you don't tell us what the magic is. And I don't know. Kareem must have told them the word by then. But
that's the thing, Matt. What if he has to he puts his hand over his mouth, says like, don't tell him, and then run away. But then they just get caught again.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know like,
But
what
I mean-
what do they need then if they've already got the magic word and
I mean, she must have told her dad what the magic word was.
Yeah.
And he tried to use it and it hasn't worked. So he knows there's more to it. And
okay,
they won't tell him.
yeah,
So they still need to tell him what the
that you need
proper magic is because he
Yeah.
doesn't know how to use it. Even though he knows the word.
Also, why does he want jungle magic? Like, I thought he wanted to destroy the jungle. So why does he want to use the
Well, it's a pretty all-powerful thing. I mean, I think basically what it's meant to do is do exactly what your will is in
the
any
jungle
situation. In any situation, I think. I mean, you could apply this to...
Could it be an urban magic?
Yeah, if you had the shrunken head on you, you could just be like...
Kalia.
Kalia, motherfucker. I want to fly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm Superman now.
Yeah. It's weird he didn't try that one when he was stuck in the pit. But they're about to be boiled.
Yes.
But at the right moment, Michael sort of breaks free and he grabs his shrunken head.
Yeah, well, the shrunken head, I think it like falls into this other big pile of shrunken heads.
Big pile of shrunken heads.
And then they're gradually leading them to...
Oh, there we go. We don't know Halling. We don't want Halling to see it. He doesn't know that the head is needed for jungle magic. This particular head, I asked, shoving it back in the pocket. Only this head? Yes. That head and the magic word. So, yeah, he needs both.
It has to be that specific head, not just any shrunken head.
Yeah.
And the other thing was that Aunt Benna goes, okay, wait for my signals,
Yep.
3 blinks or 3 winks or something. And that's when we're going to attack or something, and you're going to use the jungle magic, and we're going to...
Yep, oh yeah, and he's about to use it, but Dr. Hawlings knocks it away and tosses it into a big pile of shrunken heads. And he's never going to be able to find his shrunken head, is it? Not in a big pile of heads?
What happens then? He does find it.
He does. Because if you remember at the start, his bratty little sister put a scratch on it, like she snatched it from him and scratched it.
And
so like he's tossing through it and he sees it. Yeah. And he grabs the shrunken head, uses his jungle magic, and what happens to him?
Well, basically, when he uses his jungle magic and he's trying to get him out of this dastardly situation,
This bind that they're in.
The Hawlings, Carolyn, and Kareen, they all just shrink to ant size. And they run off into the jungle or something?
All three of them, Kareen, Carolyn, and Dr. Hawlings, scampered over the grass, mouse-sized, squeaking angrily in tiny mouse voices. I stood beside the pile of heads and watched them scurry over the ground, squeaking and squealing. I watched them until they disappeared into the jungle. They're going to last like 5 minutes in the jungle and they're going to be like eaten by a bird or something.
I don't know. I mean, no matter how small you are, you're still the most evolved race on
Yes, but you're evolved, but you're not meant to be evolved at that size.
Yeah, true.
Like,
but they could find shelter somewhere.
Well, if you've seen classic Disney comedy Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, actually it can be a hilarious situation.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not discussed in the book. They scurry away. We have no idea if they...
That's the end of it. They don't even mention them. That's the last.
I know. They're like,
they scurry
there you go. That's it. So, guess what? They're safe now. And they get home and Aunt Benna takes the jungle magic away from them.
Yeah, it turns out she hypnotised him as a kid to give him the jungle magic, and he was the only one that had it, and now she re-hypnotises him to get rid of the jungle magic.
That's it. So he's just...
However that works, and so now no one has the jungle magic.
Yeah, but he's still got his little shrunken head.
I mean, she's a pretty talented hypnotist.
That's not touched on, is it? Like, it says she's a scientist. She knows all this magic and how to give it to somebody and take it away, which isn't really touched in the book whatsoever. I guess scientists can just do that. Like if you're a good enough scientist, you know how to give someone magic powers.
Hypnotism and reverse.
And reverse hypnotism. But he still gets to keep the shrunken head as a souvenir. And that's all she wrote. Or is it? How does the book end, man?
Well, and I'm grasping that this might be a common theme in some Goosebumps books. They just throw something, they throw a curveball just right in the end. Yeah. So he's going to school and he's like, well, this is going to be some good stories to tell to my mates at school. And he's holding the shrunken head, and then the shrunken head suddenly speaks and it goes, can I tell the part about the tiger?
So shrunken head is still talk. Maybe it could always talk. I don't know. He doesn't have magic anymore, so why did that happen? No one knows. But that's the end of our story. Matt, what do you think of the book? First of all, did you read much Goosebumps as a kid?
No, I wasn't allowed to read Goosebumps as a kid.
Oh, really? Well,
I brought one or two home, and I mean, my conservative family was like, no, this is not acceptable. This is too scary. This is too horrific for a kid your age. Well, I wasn't allowed to read them.
Oh wow! So this is like the first one you've ever read?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was pretty tidy, the plot and stuff.
Yeah,
and it was fairly well written.
And it's pretty fast paced.
Very fast paced. You don't get bored. You see here on the cover,
It's big ass head.
it's bigger than his baseball mitt.
It's a big head.
It's bigger than his bloody baseball mitt. But they go on to explain later on in the book that these are like smaller than a tennis ball.
Yeah,
These heads.
and you've got a baseball right there for comparison.
Yeah.
Matt, thanks for coming on the show.
No worries.
And we look forward to the next installment of both Gattsy on Goosebumps and the decorated musical career of Mornington Peninsula's favourite band, The Facades. Link in the description. But that's all for this week. Please join me next time in which I discuss Goosebumps number 40, Night of the Living Dummy 3. Matt, would you like to take us off with my trademark catchphrase?
Gatsy is Gats, and thank you, and that's that.
There, you got it in one!